start getting ready to get sails up.
Oh, you guys thought you could get rid of me? I'm back.
This will be my first sailing yacht. How hard can it be?
None of these other chicks are gonna go for you because you're 20 years younger than them.
Oh,
What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Married to Reality. It's the Below Deck Sailing Yacht Edition. I'm your co-host, John, here with my wife and co-captain. It's the one and only Teresa.
Hello, everyone. How is everyone doing?
You love when I call you my co-captain.
I love it. I am a co-captain. You are a co-captain.
Yeah, in life, in this podcast. When
All
we,
the time.
Yeah, when
All
we
the
drive, when we take out a boat, everything.
All the time.
All the time. What's up, guys? What would our friends be?
Our friends would be...
Our guests? Would they be our guests?
I was going to say passengers, but guests sounds better.
Yeah, they could be passengers. They could be guests. Yeah. What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode. Below Deck. This was a steamy episode.
That was a good one, yeah.
They've all been fantastic.
Yeah, I do prefer when the guests are crazy, but it's nice for the crew.
I think it's nice for the crew, and it's almost a palate cleanser. It's almost an amuse-bouche, if you will, to get some sane guests. And we still have another episode with these guests.
That's true.
So don't jinx it.
Let me tell you this. This is how I picture very wealthy people. They're low-key, they're nice, they're having fun, they're enjoying nice food, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not like those assholes before. They were like, make me spaghetti carbonara and maybe some steamed broccoli. And do you know the sushi rice or what do you call tuna spicy rice?
You have a very skewed perception of wealthy people. I think most people would picture wealthy people as the Roses, as Chucky. I think when people think wealth, they think that.
Well, I like to think that when someone's wealthy and they work hard for it, right? They appreciate other people working hard and also gonna appreciate some nice cuisine because they've been all over the world, right?
I get that's that difference between new money and old money. And I do think the Roses are new money, but that old money where they don't work for it, it's family money, it's passed down.
I mean, this guy is, what's his name?
James. He's a realtor.
Yeah.
Yeah, I looked into him.
He's a luxury realtor. I mean, he must be making money. So
Yeah.
I don't think he's just sitting on a trust fund, right?
No. But the rest of the family, I don't think is that wealthy. I tried to do a little digging. I think James is super successful. I read I think annually he's selling $200 million worth of luxury properties, hotels, commercial buildings. Yeah.
Good for him.
And then the rest of the fam, I don't know. And maybe that's why they do behave, because they're like, oh my gosh, we're not used to this. True,
but even James, he's enjoying the nice food. He's like, prepare me something. Like, I love trying new things. I don't know. This is how I picture wealthy people who don't need to flex all the time.
Look, there are wealthy douchebags. There are wealthy, or there are poor douchebags, right? It doesn't matter your status. You can be nice or you could be obnoxious. It doesn't matter what's in your bank account.
I mean, the Kardashians, I never watched the show, but I've seen social media.
Yeah.
They seem kind of douchey.
A little
all
bit.
Of them.
A little bit, yeah.
So yeah, I guess you're right. But for me, that was like,
Paris Hilton, The Simple Life, that whole show.
Oh yeah, I've watched it once. It was in German. It was on the German MTV. I was catching on the cable.
Yeah.
When I was in Czech Republic. But yeah, I never actually get into that.
That's what I'm saying. I think most wealthy people that grace our television screens are assholes.
Well, yeah, but again, some people might be just a little more chill. I appreciate it.
All right. Well, before we get too far into this, let's do a little housekeeping here, okay? Let's clean the deck, and we'll ask what we always ask. Please follow us on social media. If you're not following us, especially on Instagram, make sure you're following us at Married to Reality Pod. Just dropped, I think, our first Below Deck meme.
You did.
So
I mean, we did, but you came up with it.
I came up with it.
Giving you some credit.
Thank you. I ran it by our social media president.
Yes,
she approved it.
I did.
I ran it up the ranks. She approved it. We posted it. And so check that out on Instagram at Married to Reality Pod. Make sure you're following us there. Also, make sure you guys are following the podcast wherever you're listening. And here's why I'm going to tell you to follow it. because some things may be coming in the near future, some things that we haven't planned, maybe a bonus episode or two.
Or we go live randomly on Instagram.
Oh, no, I've moved on past Instagram.
Oh.
Now I'm talking about the podcast. But you're not wrong. We did randomly go live on Instagram this past weekend. And nice turnout.
It was great. It was so much fun.
Had some friends there, some old friends, some new friends. But yeah, so that's a reason to follow us on Instagram. You never know when we're going to pop in and do a live. I'm talking about following the podcast, though, because you tune in for Below Deck. Maybe you tune in for 90 Day or Married at First Sight. But once in a while, we're going to drop a bonus episode. And you may not know what day that's going to come. And so you want to be following the podcast so that you get it. And the only way to follow the podcast is to look down and smash that follow button.
Guys, smash it like it's as hard as the beginning of the episode because it was steamy.
Hot and steamy.
Also, I should probably be following our podcast because I don't know when are we dropping these extra episodes you're talking about.
You don't follow our podcast?
I do. I'm kidding. But I'm saying you're planning all this without telling me.
We talked about this.
When?
Because we talked about it a day or two ago. We're not sure.
Well, a day or two ago, I was a little out of it.
That's very
Some of
true.
our friends who listen to our other podcasts know.
That excuse can only last so long. You've been using that excuse all week. We talked about because this MAFS episode is not.
I'm following you again.
It's not going to be a true episode. It's going to be a recap of the past 10, 12, 14 episodes, however many episodes we've had. And so I don't think we're going to cover that. We'll watch it, and if it's worth covering, we'll cover it. But if we're not going to cover it, we'll throw something else out there.
Oh, okay.
I talked to you about this.
I know.
Come on.
Listen,
get your head in the game. I know it's been a long week.
A lot is going on. A lot is going on in my life and in your life.
But you agree, correct?
I do, yeah.
Okay, so.
Yeah, we don't want to let you hang in. Right? Is that a way?
Yeah, we don't want to leave you hanging.
Yeah.
So make sure you're following the podcast.
Why did you laugh?
Because you're like, we don't want to let you hanging. It sounded like you were learning slang for the first time. And it was adorable. I liked it.
I was also thinking of some sort of a boat pun. But maybe you can have the anchor hanging.
Okay.
Am I right? No, it's hanging.
Yeah, all right, let's move on.
Like a pirate ship, it's always hanging.
Let's move on.
Moving on.
Okay, so you're following us on Instagram. You're following the podcast. One last thing, if you haven't left a review, please do. We love when you leave the reviews. It's where you can tell us what you think about the show. It's where you can tell us your boat name.
Yes.
Which brings me, see that lead-in? You see how I docked that ship? It brings me to this week's boat name. Okay, it's something we're doing on this podcast. It's a little segment, Boat Name the Segment. Mm-hmm. And we watch the episode, and nobody knows how to pronounce Parsifal. Okay, even though that rolled off my tongue beautifully.
I keep calling it parcel.
It's not a package. Some packages were delivered this episode, I will say. Ashley received a package this episode.
Bunny received a package.
Did she?
3 packages carrying a cake.
I actually meant a penis. But you were talking about like 6 packs, I think. Maybe
the dad bots.
Anyway.
You mean the dad bots, as they called it?
Nobody can pronounce Parsifal the way I can. So we thought, let's name the boat each week, depending on the episode, depending on the storyline. And I've got my name.
Me too.
Okay. Do you want to go first?
Sure. Mine is pretty good.
Oh, boy.
Good.
Maybe I should go first. Now I'm nervous.
No, I want to go first because I almost feel like you might have the same name.
Okay. Well, I have 2 just in case that was going to happen.
Okay. Ready?
I'm sorry.
Set. The Drunken Sailor.
Oh, you just come up with good bar names. I think that's what because last time you were like Hurricane Charles. Like that's just a good pub name. The Drunken Sailor is a fantastic boat name. Okay.
Thank you.
You're referring to Tyler.
Yes.
Okay, very good. Mine, I'm referring to the crew.
Well, tell me the name first.
The Relationship.
Oh my gosh, that's really
pretty good.
That's so basic, but so good.
Right, because I think Tom and Ashley.
Is it hyphenated?
It's hyphenated.
I love it.
Maybe you do like a heart in between relation and ship or something. You know, you fancy it up a little bit.
Instead of a hyphen, a heart.
Yeah,
cheesy.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I love it.
I had my alternate name because I think there were some sexual fluids exchanged on this voyage.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Should I have an alternate name too?
You
Is
can.
this how we play
you
this
can
game?
If you want. No,
Are you trying to be better than me?
no, I'm just saying if we had the
kidding.
same one, I would come in with the second.
So I guess I should do that too next time.
If you want. The Sea Men.
Oh.
They're the seamen.
Yeah, I don't think I would put that on my boat, but I like it.
Some people would.
It makes sense. I like it.
They're seamen.
Yes, sure.
Cool. Well, those are our boat names. Let us know your boat names if you're playing at home. Send them our way. Message us. Put them in a review. We want to hear them. All right.
We sure do.
Okay. Let's get into this episode.
All right. So we basically picked up where we left off. It's very sexual.
It's a
Very
softcore.
sexual.
It's a softcore porn, and I had to remind myself when this aired, where it aired, because we weren't watching Pornhub. We were watching Bravo at 8 p.m. on a Monday. And if we had kids, if my parents were staying with us, and the TV
They would watch.
and the TV was on, and it was Ashley just like harder. I was like, what? This is. Am I blushing? Because my face feels red right now.
I mean, you always can say, "Oh, it's a comedy," which it kind of is. So
It's a comedy.
yeah, comedy.
Comedy. I'm not going to explain that joke to you, seamen.
Wait. Oh. All right.
You're like, yeah, comedy.
All right.
I hope you're not listening to this podcast with your parents, but yeah, so it was hot and heavy from the start. You had Ashley and you had Tom and you had Gary and you had Daisy.
Yes.
All going very hard.
Well, Daisy and Gary did not cross the line.
There was no penetration that we saw.
You're
But
being very specific today.
yeah, Colin also saw. He strolled out there and
And so did Gabriela.
They came for a show. They had a beer.
Oh, yeah.
They walked out. They're like, what the hell is going on
I think
here?
they came for a smoke, and they almost smoked them out.
It was
Look at that.
smoky,
Look at
steamy.
that lead.
Look at you. Yeah, so Gary and Daisy, they're going at it hot and heavy. It ended, not abruptly. It sort of went on for quite a while. I don't know if you noticed when Daisy and Gary stop making out, she gets out of the hot tub.
Yeah.
Right? She climbs out. The camera's in her face, and you can see her mouth. Shit. She says shit. Like
I feel like
under
I
her
saw
breath
it.
or maybe quietly. She knows what she
yeah.
did.
Oh, yeah. You cannot be that. I mean, we've both been drunk so many times.
Speak for yourself.
And to a certain level, I always remember.
Oh, and especially during it. So I think when you black out, you obviously know what you're doing while you're doing it. You just go to sleep, you wake up, you don't remember.
Yeah.
In the moment, you know what you're doing. Otherwise,
yeah.
you would be passed out.
And also, when someone reminds you the next day, it usually comes back to you. Maybe not exactly in one piece,
Yeah.
but you'll get a little here and there
Yeah. You can,
images in your head.
yes. Yeah. The next morning, I mean, we could jump to the next morning. Not much else happened that night except classic Kelsey going to sleep, probably overdosing on some almonds, which she got. I guess she got some nuts of her own, if you will. She loves her
I
almonds.
like Casey. She's chill.
Kelsey's
always missing all the
She's a
action.
good time. I mean, she's there to work and get it done.
Yeah.
That's it.
It's funny because she is a pretty girl. I just think that she's more of a tomboy.
I think she's
and the
yeah.
guys are seeing her as a friend. But if you look at her, she's very pretty.
I think she's very attractive. I think Gabriela is a little bit of a tomboy too. She's got
Yeah.
that like energy, and she's very pretty as well.
Yeah.
We say it every episode. But yeah, no one is going for Kelsey for some reason. Maybe she's weird off camera. Maybe we don't
I
really.
love it. I love weird people.
I think it's great. Maybe she has a boyfriend. Who knows? She hasn't really talked about it.
Yeah, that's true.
But either way, we were talking about remembering, not remembering. The next morning, I mean, everyone looks a little seasick. And Daisy says she doesn't remember the makeout session.
Oh, she does.
That's my question. Do you think she's trying to play it off like, what? That didn't happen. She doesn't want to have to address it. If she says, I don't remember, she doesn't have to address it.
Of course she's playing it off. And they're hanging out in the kitchen and Colin is like kind of poking the dragon. And so does Gary. They're kind of laughing it off. And she's like, no, I didn't kiss you. It's like, you know you kissed him. And then she goes like, oh, you must have kissed me. If you already know that, you know that it was mutual.
Well, she's like, oh, it was only a second. It's like,
come on.
It was maybe 120 seconds.
I feel like they are so attracted to each other. Almost like they get annoyed with each other.
Yeah.
But there's the sexual chemistry.
It's the sexual tension.
I almost feel like they could never date. They could they could never be in a relationship because after a while they would probably kill each other. But I feel like they're so hot and heavy for each other.
I think they could be in a relationship. I think that's some people's relationship. That's some people's energy. And I think
true.
it's fun. Like
It is fun.
Their relationship is fun to me. It's a little brother-sister, which is kind of creepy because it gets sexual. Yeah, but it's like, don't poke me, don't poke me, don't poke me, that kind of thing.
They've known each other for a while. Yeah. They've worked together before, but they never hooked up until now.
Right.
So it's almost like you're hooking up with a friend and it can be a little weird. So that's why you pretend like, oh, I didn't kiss him.
Yeah. Well,
that was my Irish accent.
That was good.
Thank
you. It was very good. It wasn't Southern, which is your usual go-to. So that was nice. It was a nice change of pace. How about their power couple name? Because Tom is like Gary, Daisy,
Gazy. It's kind of good.
I mean, you could have gone Dairy. It could have been Dairy. Could have been the power couple name.
I like Gazy.
Yeah, it's a little whimsical. Gazy.
Gary's like, oh my god, I'm too old for this shit.
How about Glenn just eating his matzah?
Was he? I missed
yes.
I watched it several times again. I missed
Did you watch it 5 times this week?
Not 5, only twice.
Oh, you're slacking.
2.5, but...
Yeah, it is matzah. That's his trusty cracker.
I love matzah. It's one of my favorite crackers.
Yeah, it's a good snack.
It is a good snack.
I still stand by the matzah pizza. If you're looking to step it up, little sauce, little cheese in the oven, 15 minutes, matzah pizza.
John loves his matzah pizza.
Love it.
Fried matzah. I just like snacking on matzah, like a plain matzah, when it has salt.
It's really good. You put jelly on it, like grape jelly on it, or fried matzah.
That's what I said.
Oh, you said fried matzah? Yeah. Oh, I was thinking Marcos could probably make a mean fried matzah for Captain Glenn.
Are you saying I don't make a mean fried matzah for you?
You do.
Thank you.
But
it's been a while.
You know you're not Marcos. One day, maybe. You're getting there.
No, but I am a self-proclaimed chef.
Yeah, exactly. You could proclaim,
Not Marcos.
You could proclaim whatever you want to be.
Not Marcos.
No, but one day.
Pretty good.
One day.
Pretty good.
Let's talk about the preference sheet meeting, okay?
All right.
One of my favorite segments of the show. We got Daisy, Marcos, Gary, Glenn. And it's a pretty uneventful preference sheet meeting, I would say. We have James Cox Jr., JCJ, coming in from New Jersey. He's the primary. He's the luxury real estate broker, as we said at the top of the show. Very successful. He's coming with his sister, Kimber. Her best friend,
Bunny.
Okay.
Do you think her name is actually Bunny, or do you think it's a nickname?
I don't think it's Bunny at all.
You and I, we are bunnies.
Well,
at least that's what my mother calls
to your
us.
Mom. Yeah, I told you the story about me getting in trouble in elementary school for calling a girl Bunny.
No, he didn't.
I told you this.
No, he didn't.
There was a girl on my bus when I think I was in 5th grade. She was probably in 4th grade. And this was not a flirty situation. I think she wore like bunny ears or something for Easter or something. And I just started calling her Bunny every day after that. Just whatever. You know, I'm a little different. And I decided to call her Bunny. Apparently, she didn't like it. She told her mom.
Oh.
Her mom told the bus driver. The bus driver told my mom. I got in trouble. But that's my bunny name.
My mom calls us bunnies.
Yeah, I don't get that.
Me neither. It's kind of cute.
I don't get that.
I'm too old for it, so are you, but my mom still sees us as babies.
Okay, so there's Bunny. Then there's James's brother, Tyler, and father, James Sr., maybe a couple others. We didn't catch their names.
I think he goes by Jim.
Jim Sr., James Jr.
Well, there is this younger guy.
I know.
And they didn't mention him. He must be someone's son. Or maybe a brother of James and Tyler.
Yeah, maybe a friend, maybe a brother.
He's not a friend. He's like 18.
Oh,
Definitely not a friend.
yeah, you're right. Oh, yeah, because they said everyone was drinking and the kid was like, oh, yeah, have a little wine. And they were
I mean,
like,
he could drink in Europe.
they were like,
He's
all right,
18.
minor. That's very true,
Yeah.
especially on international waters.
You can drink in Europe if you're 14.
All right, well, that's the gang. So here's what they want. Night 1, a 007 75th birthday dinner for Father Jim.
Love it.
And Glenn gets another invite. This is going to be Glenn's second dinner. Then day 2, a beach picnic with badminton. Night 2.
With badminton.
Badminton. I said it.
Badminton.
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 Okay.
What did you say? You said badman.
Badminton is what
Badminton.
Badminton is how you pronounce it.
Badminton.
Yeah. Yeah.
We say it fast.
Badminton.
You see, I understood you said badman.
No, Batman. Batman is a movie that's out right now getting mixed reviews. It's like a 3-hour
With
long
Robert Pattinson?
Yeah.
I love Robert Pattinson.
RP. Yeah.
He's really good looking.
Okay.
Okay, moving on.
Night 2 dinner, an authentic Spanish feast. Marcos plans to pull out all the stops working with the local flavors. Okay. Seems pretty doable, right? It seems like a pretty standard, easy preference sheet.
Yes.
When I heard 007 themed party, I didn't know what to expect. And I don't think they did the best job.
No, I was expecting some fedoras, fake guns.
Yeah, maybe a gun, maybe a golden gun, a bow tie at least, a tuxedo. Someone put on a tuxedo, but we'll get to it. It was more like a masquerade party. Like, I think I saw a couple of masks.
Yeah,
I was underwhelmed.
That's all they could get.
Yeah,
But yeah,
excuses.
they could have tried a little harder.
Right?
Definitely some fedoras and some fake guns.
Yeah. Okay. Some Bond girls.
I mean, they have Bond girls.
Bunny.
Daisy.
Bunny Bond.
Well, yes, but Daisy, Gabriela.
Bond. Bunny Bond. Yeah. So then everyone gets to work prepping the boat. Marcos is cooking. He was cooking so many cakes. I don't know if it was because it was...
He was layering the cake.
I know, but there was the layer cake. Then there was like a sponge cake. There was another cake.
No, I think that was all for the one cake.
Okay. All right.
I think it was like a layered cake.
Cake by the ocean. Who's that? Who's Jonas Brothers? No.
I don't know. Cake by the ocean. I don't know.
Anyway.
But yeah, you have one layer.
Should have been the
then you
title of the
put-
show.
What?
Cake by the Ocean. Because this episode title was Loose Lips Sink Ships. I didn't understand that. Who's
Me neither.
Who had loose lips as in making out, maybe.
Maybe.
Because the saying loose lips sink ships means like if you talk, if you spill secrets, everything falls to shit.
Ooh.
But maybe they meant loose lips like making out.
You're going very deep.
Should
I
have been
like
cake,
it.
Should have been
I
cake
like
by
it.
the ocean.
But I was just going to explain you the
yes.
cake.
Yes.
You have one layer and then you put the, what do you call the white thing?
Frosting.
Frosting.
Not semen. That's the name of the boat.
Then you put another cake and then you
No,
put
I understand
the
how layer
frosting.
cakes work.
And then you
Believe
put
me.
another.
Believe me, I understand how layer cakes
Oh,
work.
do you?
Yes.
Okay.
But I appreciate your explanation. Explain to me why these hospital corners aren't being achieved, because Gabriela is not happy with Ashley's performance.
I am annoyed with Ashley.
Yeah.
I honestly, if I was Gabriela, I would be so fed up with her.
And she is.
Yeah. And Ashley. Daisy is too. She's just being the boss who's looking at it from the upper perspective, right?
Yeah.
But they need to sit down. She knows that Ashley is the freaking child.
For sure.
Yeah. I feel bad for Gabriella, but she's still keeping it cool. I feel like I would lose my shit.
Yeah. I like Gabriela's attention to detail. I think
Yeah.
that's why she is second stew.
Yeah.
And again, Ashley, you think you deserve second stew, you want to get the look, you want to get promoted, then you should be doing everything to the best of your ability. You should be
And-
half-assing on these hospital corners.
And I don't know if you caught that, but when she interacts with the guests, she is the opposite of pleasant. She's like, do you want this sandwich, this beef sandwich, or this salmon sandwich?
Right.
She's so, Gabriela is so pleasant and nice and friendly.
Right. She's
and
literally out there like
talks to them.
dancing, trying to make them laugh because things aren't going right.
But that's what you need to do.
Yes.
That you need to entertain. Ashley just walks around annoyed that she's a threat too. And I feel like that's all she thinks about. And it literally gives it away. Her performance reflects how she feels. And it sucks.
There's the saying, dress for the job you want. You also got to act for the job you want.
100%.
And I don't know if there's a fourth Stu, but she's acting like she should be fourth Stu with that attitude.
Oh, yeah.
So
she should be just like cleaning the floors with a toothbrush.
Right, she's a deckhand. She's basically a deckhand at this point. Probably our first sadness, the segment of Below Deck, I think. Coming up here. When Tom gets a phone call from his friend informing him that his best friend's dad collapsed, he's in a coma, he's on life support.
Yeah, he got a blood clot in the brain.
Yeah,
which
so
doesn't sound good.
That doesn't sound good at all. He's on life support, and this guy is apparently like a second dad to Tom, so he's clearly shooken up. Oh no, we had sadness the segment. We had
Marcos.
Marcos, so second sadness the segment. Tom goes to get some alone time, and this is where I'm like, wait, are Ashley and Tom full-on boyfriend and girlfriend now?
It looks like it.
Is Tom carrying Ashley's books to class? Because I think they're going steady. She's there. She's supporting him. They're cuddling. It's like how quickly things change.
Yeah. And after that, you see everyone's going to bed. Ashley and Tom kiss before they went to their cabin. It's
like a good night.
What would you do if you are in a
relationship?
In a little relationship.
Yeah. It totally was a 180 with one bang session.
I don't think we mentioned it. Ashley said that Tom doesn't bang like a 23-year-old.
Yeah.
He's banging pretty good. She had to stir him a little bit.
Yeah, but there's got to be like a sweet spot between you don't want to bang like a 16-year-old, but you probably don't want to bang like a 60-year-old. So like 24, like banging like a 24-year-old can't be that bad.
I think it's all about people's personality and how comfortable they feel with their own bodies. It's so true. You can do crazy shit if you feel comfortable.
Right.
But if you don't feel comfortable in your body, you're never going to really enjoy it and express yourself. Tom seems to be very confident and comfortable.
And they were wasted.
I'm
so
not surprised.
drunk.
He's 23. He definitely banged a bunch of girls before. So he knows what he's doing.
Mm-hmm.
So Ashley was being she was just being a hoe.
Yeah.
Saying, I don't want to be with Tom because he's too young. Please.
Yeah. Now she's loving it.
Oh, she is.
Yeah. This was sad, but it's really life balances you out because you get this high from banging this girl you got a crush on. He's wanted to bang her since day one, so he gets to bang her. And then the next day you find out, oh, my second dad is in a coma. It's really life balancing you out, the ups and the downs of life.
I really hope that Tom will make out with Gabriela because I almost wish that Gabriela just threw something in Ashley's face.
Oh, no, come on.
Yeah.
You're not vindictive like that.
No, a little makeout, not to bang Gabriela.
Yeah,
a little makeout session.
They're basically in a relationship now. They're going steady.
Please.
Come on.
She was making out with Getty an hour before she was banging Tom.
That's too messy for me. Tom and Ashley, they're a couple of kids. Good luck to them.
You're on a boat for the summer.
Exactly. You know how messy it would be if everyone's...
Mess it up. Mess it up.
No. All right. Next day, 7 a.m., 5 hours till charter. And Tom, this was mature of Tom. He goes and he talks to Glenn, and he fills Glenn in on what's going on with his buddy's dad. And I think that's good. He could have kept it to himself. He could have let it affect him. But he doesn't. He goes and he talks to Glenn. He talks to his boss. And Glenn's like, well, do you need to leave? Do you want to stay? And Tom says, no, I'm going to stay. I'm going to do a good job.
Good.
I think, keep your mind off things. Stay.
I like Tom. The only thing I don't like about Tom is when he gets frustrated and he just gets like sloppy and throws things around.
But he knows, he's addressed that. He's like, you know what? I need to mature a little. I need to not overreact, and I got to
That's
step
good,
it up.
but I'm saying when he gets like that, that's when I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, Tom, get it together.
Yeah, he had a couple poor showings
Yeah.
early on where he didn't really step up. But I hope he's going to step up
Yeah.
and do his job to the best of his ability. So we'll see. Speaking of doing your job to the best of your ability, Gabriela is working, of course. Ashley walks by her, and Gabrielle's like, "Did you take care of the other side of the list of tasks?"
Yeah, and she's being nice. She's like, "Oh, did you see the other side of the list, babe?"
Yeah.
And Ashley's like, "Not yet."
No, not yet.
And Gabrielle, I think she like mouths something like, "Oh my god, like yeah, fucking unbelievable." And Ashley hears it because she curses.
Yeah.
And she goes straight to Daisy
Straight
to
to-
complain.
Straight today. And she walks in and she goes, "Why do I have to do everything? Everything? It
Like
seems
you
like
do nothing.
Seems like you haven't done anything,
Yeah.
Ashley." And I paused. I saw the list. They kind of did a close up of the list of the things that needed to get done. It's nothing crazy. It was restock the bar, which it looked like that's what Gabriela was doing. Flower arrangements, and replenish the candy bowl. So like, you can't go do that. It's going to take you 20 minutes to go do that.
Gee, yeah.
And you have to go. It's going to take you longer to complain to Daisy than to go replenish the candy bowl.
Ashley's attitude is just ridiculous. And let's say even like when we go back to the hospital corners, right? Gabriela showed it to her before how it's done. Like,
Right.
hey, let's do it this way. It looks better. I almost feel like Ashley is being spiteful, saying like, I know how to do this. I'm going to do it my way. And it's not right.
But you don't know how to do it. You're
Yeah.
third stew. It's not up to you. You don't get to make the rules of this is how we're folding.
Well, that's what
the
she's
corners.
learning right now because she's telling Daisy, you know, I respect you and I'll do what you say I have to do, but I'm not going to do what Gabrielle's saying. Like this doesn't matter. She's a second stew. And Ashley's like, no, it does.
No, Daisy says it
Oh,
does.
Daisy. I'm sorry.
Right.
Daisy said, it does. You have to listen to the second stew because she's
Right.
second in charge. And so sometimes you just have to do things you don't love.
Exactly.
And we all do that.
That's life. That's life. You don't get to make the rules unless you're the boss.
Yeah. And Daisy compared her to a little girl who wants to wear high heels
Yeah.
and miniskirts, but she's not 18 yet, and her parents have to keep reminding her of that. And it's so true. Ashley, why don't you just do your job, show that you can do that, and maybe then have a conversation that, oh, maybe I would like to be a second stew.
Yeah.
Let's
Of course.
just check it out. See what I've done.
First, you have to be able to do your job as third stew
Oh, yeah.
before you can get a look for second stew. You can't just jump
Yeah.
the ranks.
I feel like she's just so annoyed with being the third stew and under Gabriela that it affects everything she does.
Yeah.
It affects her behavior. It affects her performance. She's just annoyed.
It was interesting to see this interaction between Ashley and Daisy because we saw last episode or 2 episodes ago where they were both kind of sitting being buddy planning the party.
Yeah.
And Gabrielle was like, "What are you doing?" And Ashley's like, "I'm planning the party with Daisy." So I almost thought, oh, maybe they had a little click going. But it shows here, no, Ashley is Daisy's respecting the order, the power dynamic here of third stew, second stew. And so whether she's friends or not with Ashley, she's going to say, no, you got to listen to Gabriela.
And that's
which is
life,
good.
Ashley. Like, imagine like if you have a manager above you and then another manager above all of you, and you just decide to bypass your actual manager and you're going to go to the overall leader. No, that's not how things work.
It's not going to fly for very long.
No.
No. All right. I think we need to take a quick break because when we get back, we're going to meet the guests. We'll be back in a second. And we're back.
Hello.
Let's say
Ahoy.
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 Ahoy. Let's say ahoy to our guests.
Let's do that.
James, Jim Sr., Bunny, Tyler, the rest of the guests. They're all there. They make a nice entrance. Mm-hmm. No talk about tips being diminished if things aren't right. No talk about, this boat, right? They were very pleased. They liked what they saw.
Because that's what normal people look like.
Yeah, it's how civilized people
Civilized.
act. And I'm even more impressed because they're from Florida, or the majority of them are from Florida. James is from
New Jersey.
But the rest, at least it looked like on the preference sheet, were from Florida. And we know Florida. We live in Florida.
Yeah,
These were the most civilized Floridians.
Florida is
It's a shit show.
mixture. It's a shit show.
It's an absolute shit show.
I love all the Florida man stories
Yeah.
when people do crazy shit.
Chuck's a Florida man, even though he's from Houston. But this was a civilized bunch.
Yeah.
So Daisy gives him a tour. It was amazing. Nobody was screaming. Nobody was complaining. Nobody was sexually harassing the crew. I'm looking at you, McCordia. Right? Very civilized. So civilized. It was such a nice moment when James Sr., he was just posing for adorable photos that his wife was.
He is an adorable
just an adorable old man just taking photos on the deck of the boat. It got a little raunchy when James asked Colin his favorite animal.
It's a dog, obviously.
I'm a dog guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. How do you feel about cougars?
I was just going to say that.
Yeah.
How about a cougar? They run fast and they're old.
Yeah. And then
You just sold it, Jamie. How do you sell millions of dollars worth apartments, but you're not selling a cougar?
No. Well, yeah, because you hear Bunny yell, James. Like, she totally talked to James and was probably like, oh, Colin's sexy.
Yeah.
And then James kind of spilled it. But I think we need to hear more about Colin's girlfriend because
Does she even exist?
right. He's in the relationship. We've heard nothing about her. There's been no drama. We're 5 episodes in. There's got to be a little drama calling from home.
He got in a relationship in the previous
season,
didn't he?
No.
No?
I forget.
Is that wrong? Am
We
I
know
thinking
we
wrong?
know Gary was causing issues the previous. Yeah, maybe. Oh, right. He did say I got in trouble, I think, on. Yeah. I forget. So much drama.
Well, yeah, apparently he has a girlfriend, but who cares?
Yeah. International waters.
Exactly.
Right. Marco's killing it with the lobster bisque
Although those are not international waters.
when you're docked.
No,
I guess
that's
they're not getting very. Yeah, they're not getting
They're
very
not
far.
in the ocean. They're in the sea. I think the sea belongs to Spain.
Spain, yeah. Well, different country. So Marcos is doing his thing. Daisy and Gabriela, they're setting up for the party. Tom and Ashley, again, being this flirty new couple. They look like an absolute couple. And even Ashley tells the camera, oh, I really need to be supportive when something like this happens. Like, you need to be supportive? The last thing you would be supportive an episode ago.
Well, I think she says that, but it's selfish deep down because she also said, well, if you're sad like this, it's going to affect your mood. If you're sad, you
Yeah.
don't want to bang anyone.
No, I almost think she was looking out for his job. Like, he needs to be positive. He needs to be upbeat. He needs to be doing his job. So
I mean, then she should be doing that too.
Well, I think she thinks she is. I think she thinks she's killing her job.
She is killing her job.
She's killing her chances at getting promoted. But yeah, when she was like, oh, I need to be supportive when something like this happens. That was a girlfriend talking.
Oh, yeah.
That was not just your ordinary coworker.
It's a boat girlfriend.
It's your boat girlfriend. So then Daisy has an idea. I think McCordia rubbed off on her a little bit because Daisy's like, Gary, Colin, I think you should deserve dessert to Bunny topless. It's a very sexual.
She's going to love it.
Sexual ship. Yeah. Oh.
I mean, it's a great idea.
Yeah.
Like, you're trying to make the guests happy, right?
Yeah, anything goes.
Oh, yeah.
Anything. I would love to know. Well, actually, I probably wouldn't. I was going to say the craziest thing to happen.
Oh, I would love to know.
Oh, I mean, someone must have died. Probably. In a sexual
But I think
encounter.
it's prohibited for them to mix with the guests.
No. Even Gary said, and I think he kind of said it jokingly. He's like, I'm not having any luck with the crew. I might get with Bunny. Pretty
Oh,
sure.
did he?
I
They
think-
always saying that Bunny is very attractive,
I know.
as she is.
Yeah, she's an attractive older lady. So the guests come up for dinner. Tyler is on like his 3rd bottle of wine.
Tyler.
Guys, come on, man. You're going to be blacked out on this ship. Enjoy it.
We'll start with the one when they got onto the boat. Literally, he was like, where is my bottle of wine? Mm-hmm. And then he just went down the hill from there.
Yeah.
And I don't think I've ever seen anyone this drunk that he's just sleeping but is not waking up.
And that's the thing. Everyone's having fun. That's great. But at some point, you should be concerned. Like he probably has alcohol poisoning.
Oh, yeah.
You probably need to stop dinner for a minute and go, all right, let's see if this guy's okay. Like, we're all laughing weekend at Parsifal and stuff.
I was going to say that was my favorite sentence. That was my favorite saying.
Say it.
That Captain Glenn was like, what is this? A weekend at Parsifal III?
Have you seen that movie?
A weekend at Barney's?
Bernie's? Oh, you know the reference from How I Met Your Mother. Weekend at Barney's.
I didn't see Weekend at Bernie's. Did you?
No.
We should watch it. It's good.
You've actually seen the original?
Yeah.
All right, we can check it out. But that was good. But yeah, you got to like check on this guy. He could be slipping into alcohol poisoning, and we're all just laughing, having a good time. Food looked great. Lobster bisque with lobster and sriracha aioli. Beef tenderloin with eggplant and potatoes.
From Mallorca.
Yeah, the local flavors.
Local flavors.
And then cake time, which would make Chucky so jealous because the whole crew comes out singing happy birthday just like at Chili's.
Do they do that at Chili's?
They do it at all those chains, I'm sure. But yeah, Gary, Tom, Colin, they come out shirtless, bring Bunny her dessert. I am sure Bunny would have appreciated a little nipple frosting a la the first charter, right? But she didn't get that. Yeah, and Tyler slept through the whole thing.
Like, he kept just like falling down. Like,
imagine if that was your dad or that was me. Like, you would be nervous, I think.
Well, first I would laugh, but after a few hours, I would be nervous because we've all been there. We've all been drunk. We all fell asleep. I fell asleep at bars. I fell asleep at grandma's
But I
places.
can wake you up by going, Teresa.
You can
Teresa.
wake up.
You'll go, what? They were slapping him. It took him being slapped multiple times.
Did I tell you the story when, guys, I used to live in New Jersey. Shout out to James.
Yeah. You weren't buying any properties from him.
Oh, for sure not. I was
maybe the people you were preparing for.
I was happy I could put gas into my Honda Pilot, but
the Honda Pilot's a nice car. That was not your car. That was the family you were au pairing for.
Well, yeah, but I operated that car for 4 years. No one else
you
drove it.
operated it. You operated
no one else
it.
drove it.
Yeah.
So I went out in Manhattan. I got real drunk, and I got on the last bus back to New Jersey. It was like 3:15 a.m.
That
right?
sounds like a horror film. The last bus to Jersey.
Yeah. Well, my stop wasn't the last stop. For my stop, I actually had to watch it and beep the driver to freaking stop, which was really tough to do at night, right?
This
Or in
is
the
the How I
morning.
Met Your Mother episode.
Well, so I passed out, and I woke up at the end of the road.
That's the sequel to The Last Bus to Jersey.
The driver woke me up.
Oh, no. You're lucky.
He was checking
You're lucky
the
you didn't
bus.
do something else.
He was checking the bus. He goes like, oh, here, hello. And I woke up right away. I was like, fuck. I got out. I had no money. Let's not even go there.
Okay.
Because I stopped the car and I'm happy I'm alive.
So how'd you get it? Wait. You hitchhiked?
Yeah, I hitchhiked.
Was that the only time? Because you hitchhiked from New York.
Yeah, that was the second time.
So you've done it twice.
Yeah.
And,
Well, it's because, okay.
and say it with me.
For my defense.
Say it with me. Never again.
Of course.
No,
For-
say it with never again.
Never again. But
Yeah.
for my defense, I come from a very small town in the Czech Republic.
Mm-hmm.
We hitchhike all the time.
Okay.
I hitchhiked so many times. And usually it's someone we know. So when I moved to America, right? I didn't think twice. I was like, I'll hitchhike.
Yeah, you didn't think at all.
Now I watch Dateline. So obviously, never again. I don't even take Ubers.
Yeah, well, that's because you're banned from Uber, but that's a whole other
Well,
story.
that's a whole other story. But yeah, it was totally dumb, right?
Yeah.
But I didn't see any harm in it because that's something I was used to. Does it make sense?
You got very lucky.
Very lucky.
Being a 20-year-old blonde girl who barely speaks English.
Very lucky.
Yeah.
Maybe that was a
Barely
turn off.
speaks English back then. You speak fine now. Maybe it was what?
Maybe my lack of English was a turn off for whoever picked me up.
You're like, get out of this car already. I was going to butcher you, but you're butchering the English language. Get out of here. All right. Next morning. Crew's up, prepping for the day. Marco's killing it in the kitchen once again. We got a cheese plate, fruit plate, apple tart, crabs. Sounds like an REM song.
So good.
Cheese plate, fruit plate, apple tart, crabs. We didn't start the fire. only half the guests come up for breakfast. James Sr. and Tyler, they're still sleeping. And it's a bit of a bummer. There's not enough wind to sail. Okay. Here we go. This is how classy, how civilized the guests are. They're on a sailboat. They can't sail. And they're like, all right, you can't sail, you can't sail. I know a bunch of other guests that would bitch and moan that they weren't sailing.
I mean, you cannot just make the wind blow.
Chuck would think you could.
Oh, yeah.
So that's what I was saying. These guys are so nice. So
of course.
they're just enjoying what they can. They know they can't change it. They're just enjoying it.
And the first guests, minus that one incident with the primary.
The sexual harassment.
Yeah, they were nice too.
They were nice too. They're hungry. But
very hungry, but very nice.
They're nice, yeah. And then we had, this is where Gary, Glenn, and Colin were peeping on Bunny like, oh, she's very pretty. Oh, she's waving. She's waving. And they start talking about who else is attractive. And did you catch this? Because I watched this twice also. I didn't catch it the first time. Gary comes out and he says, I like girls with spunk. Gabriela has spunk. And he's into Gabriela.
Yeah, and so is Colin.
Yeah, I didn't pick that up at all. Like Gary was hitting on Ashley. Gary was hitting on Daisy, but no talk. Maybe he's so into Gabrielle that he's like a little
I mean,
scared.
did you see the previews?
No.
There was a Gary, 3 Garys.
Oh,
three
yes.
girls. So.
I thought that was from a past season, maybe.
Oh, no, that's from the upcoming episodes.
I just loved Glenn sitting there, like trying to keep it professional, but loving the gossip. At this, like, I just wish he had his matzah and he was just eating his matzah.
But Glenn is a great captain.
Glenn is, he's the man.
And the guys were like, oh, Tim banged Ashley on your bed. He's like, what?
Yeah, and he's like, just kidding. Yeah, Tyler finally awakes and gets a Bloody Mary, doing a little hair of the dog there.
That's the move. That's what I do.
I can't do it, but he did. Then you see him. It's like a super cut of him chugging mimosa after mimosa.
You don't do head of a dog?
I can't. I tried it once.
I made you once.
No,
head of a dog is great.
I told you the one story. I'm not going to tell it again. When I moved to New York, I got super drunk at a Halloween party. It was like my first week of work, so I had to show up. So when I woke up the next morning after the party, I was so sick, I couldn't figure out how to get to work. I'm trying every remedy. The last remedy, I was like, I guess hair of the dog. I had a beer in my fridge, drank it, took 2 sips, threw up everywhere. And I was like, well, that doesn't work.
Well, you know what's the trick for hair of the dog?
What?
You gotta drink what you get wasted on.
Yeah, beer. It was beer. It was a different beer.
So, like, if you get drunk on the whiskey, you should do a head of a dog whiskey and just pop an egg in it.
Yeah, I can't. Oh, that's disgusting. I can't do it. It's called a whiskey sour, by the way. They drop the anchor. They start setting up the beach picnic, and Marcos again making some delicious food, some sandwiches. He wants to do something simple so we can focus on the dinner prep. We have Ashley and Kelsey struggling to set up the tent. And here was my meme. I mean, this thing looked like Fire Festival. I was waiting for Ja Rule to jump out, just like, to everybody who be living it up.
I mean,
do I do? Come on, be living it up. Be setting it up.
It cannot be that difficult.
It could be. It looked pretty difficult.
Well, I think the issue was that one of them started doing it by herself.
Yeah.
I think they should have done it together.
Yeah, and I don't want to sound sexist, but maybe Tom should have lended a hand.
I mean, Tom did it before by himself, but he wasn't there.
I know, but maybe he should have been. Like, go help your girlfriend, Tom. They were struggling. And they set up the tent before. It's not like this was the first time they set it up.
No,
so.
Tom set it up before by himself.
It's only been set up once before? Okay.
I think so.
Okay. So then cue the dramatic music. The guests start arriving to the beach by tender, and it sounded like the invasion of Normandy with this dramatic. It was like, dun, 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 dun.
You see, I missed that.
Yeah, I'm like, all right, this is getting a little dramatic. And Ashley's just like, oh, maybe just give him badminton to play while we set up.
Badminton.
Yeah, you whatever. We're not going to get into this again.
We are, because I have a badminton story.
Okay, well then you get into it.
When I was a child,
This sounds like
in
this is
my
gonna be a long
early
story.
teens, I went on like a vacay with my parents, and we did all kinds of things. We were biking and shooting shotguns, and then mushroom hunting, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then my dad was like, "You want to play some badminton?" I'm like, "Yeah," because I used to play badminton as a sport for a couple of months. Then I got kicked
like
off the team.
competitively?
Yeah, a couple
boy.
of months.
Okay.
Wasn't my thing, but anyways, playing badminton, right? 10 minutes in, I broke my foot.
You broke your foot
I
playing?
jumped my ankle. I jumped when I landed because I was wearing shoes. We're running around on the grass.
Yeah.
And it was like,
Yikes.
so instead of the rest of the vacation having fun biking and mushroom hunting, I got a, what do you call
Cast?
it? Yes, a cast.
Yikes.
I know.
I basically broke my foot the same way.
You played badminton too?
No, I basically walking. I was basically walking in sandals and I broke my foot.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's embarrassing.
We were meant to be with each other.
Yeah, between the two of us, we have 2 good feet. That's good. So, yeah, the tent is an issue. The guests are there. And I felt so bad. It really upset me because these are the chillest guests ever. And they're taking it in stride. You're giving them reasons to get mad.
Oh yeah.
And they're still not
Imagine
getting
if
mad.
Chuck
Could
was
you
there,
imagine? That's what I'm
Charles.
saying. Like, and they're still keeping it cool.
Why I felt bad for the guests was because even Ashley and Kelsey kept saying it. It was so hot. And the guests were like, oh, we need some shade. Like they were getting really hot.
Yeah.
And they couldn't put the shape up. And that's why I felt really bad. Plus, they're doing it in front of them.
I know.
It's a little.
And that's-
it's a little, it would be okay if they were just running late, but they knew how to put it up. So it would just be like boom, 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 boom.
Right.
They were trying to figure it out. That was the
It
embarrassing
looked
part.
bad. Yeah. And the issue I have is you could have distracted the guests on the boat a little bit longer. Where there's shade.
Well, they
where
didn't
there's,
tell them. They should have called the
I think
boat
they
and-
radioed to them and said they're coming. Oh, you mean radioed the other way?
Yeah,
Hey,
like
we're
Ashley
having,
and
hey, we're
Kelsey
having
should say,
trouble.
hey, we're having troubles.
Yeah,
Like, give them
distract.
one more round of mimosas. We'll
Yeah.
figure it out. Send us Tom or something.
Yeah, 100%. It was miscommunication, but the guests were fine. Like they laughed it off. One of them was like, "Oh yeah, this is like expectation versus reality."
Yeah.
They're great. They're great
Yeah.
guests.
For sure. They were even saying like, oh, look at these sandwiches. I feel like I'm back in school.
Like,
Which I'm sure those sandwiches were very fancy.
oh,
They
yeah.
were just wrapped.
Oh yeah. So it turned out fine. They get back to the boat. They're gonna try to set sail, and they pull up the sails. Still no wind. I mean, the boat was basically going backwards. There was no wind, and it gave me PTSD of our sailing adventure where we're like rocking in our seats, blowing into the sails, just doing anything to
We
try
like
to get.
hit the bushes, so the guy had to come and help us out because we were stuck.
It was bad. But again, the guests, they get it. They're cool. So they drop anchor again to prepare for dinner service. And this paella,
Oh my God.
chef's kiss, work of art.
I love Spanish food. I love tapas.
We love tapas, which were there too.
Love paellas. We just had a paella recently with a
We had a
blood sausage paella. It was really
blood
good.
sausage and what was the braised beef?
Yeah. Well, they had the seafood
Short
one.
rib, short rib.
Yeah. You
Blood-
said you don't want the seafood
Nah,
one.
not a big fan of seafood, but this, blood sausage.
That was really good. Come on.
Say blood sausage short rib. Say that, Teresa.
Blood sausage short lip.
It's
Rib.
impossible. It's harder to say than badminton.
But it was very good. It was delicious.
Oh, it's delicious. It's Miami. It was fantastic. But this was, work of art. Kelsey goes, it's prettier than me.
It was. It's probably prettier than me.
Yeah, no, nothing's prettier than
was
you, Teresa.
beautiful.
But
Thank you.
It was
You're
beautiful.
the best husband.
Yeah. So they all come out and sit down for this flamenco inspired dinner. I'll say it. The guests were nice. I'm going to shit on the decor of their entire charter because the beach picnic looked like trash. The 007 theme did not deliver.
It was all right.
It was okay.
all right.
And then this looks like a Valentine's Day
It did.
dinner, right?
But they were going for something like
Flamen-
hot
they
and
wanted
Spanish and
right.
flamenco
It
and
did-
roses.
No, it looked like an 8th grade Valentine's
Yeah.
Day dance. Looked like Sadie Hawkins or something. It did not
Yeah,
look.
they should have made it nice and fancy. Don't go for anything extra.
Yeah.
Just change the themes. Maybe no, not the theme. Change the colors a little, but have a little accent red color.
Yeah,
Don't
it
have
was too much
everything
red. It
Yeah.
was Valentine's Day. But the guests love it, which is all that matters. Tyler almost spent the night at the dinner table again.
Oh, Tyler.
But otherwise, pretty uneventful for now. Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah. And, everyone went to bed, including the crew. And Gary said to Tom, just wake me up if you need anything, if there are any issues.
Oh, boy.
Well, do you guys remember how there was no wind? That was like 3 knots. They couldn't even sail.
The wind was resting up.
So 19 knots later.
Well, at 5 a.m., I want to go through it because it picks up quickly. At 5 a.m., 6 knots. By 5:30, it doubles to 12 knots. Then 15 knots. Oh, yeah, all of a sudden, it's 31 knots, which I did the Google Translate, about 35 miles an hour. Things are really starting to blow all over the deck. And they start yelling that they're dragging anchor, which I think can lead to a tipped boat.
Oh, really? So does it mean so the anchor doesn't hold the boat is moving with the anchor?
Yeah, I'm not a sailor, but I think there's always supposed to be maybe like a little drift. Like the anchor should never be super tight, I don't think. So
you drop the anchor to the bottom of the sea. You don't hook it anywhere.
Right, correct.
Yeah.
But it's a bad situation, and things are blowing all over the place. I guess it was Tom that was like sprawled out on the deck. I thought it was Tyler.
I think he was trying to cover the jacuzzi.
Yeah,
First I was like, oh my gosh, he's rolling in there with Ashley.
Ooh.
But no, it was just Tom.
Oh, poor Tom.
I think Ashley woke up and she's like, oh, I'm going to the kitchen. Tom went with her. And all of a sudden the alarm went off. It's like beep, beep, beep. And everyone's up. And it's just everything's like blowing over.
Well, I hope everyone's okay because these charter guests, if it was Chucky, I'd be like, yeah, I hope he gets hit in the head with something. But these guests deserve a nice sail. So we'll see. That's where the episode ends. It was a steamy episode. It was a good episode. Hope you guys enjoyed the episode.
Steamy but not windy until the end.
Until now. So we'll see what happens next episode with these guests. Until then, make sure you guys are following us on Instagram at Married to Reality Pod. Check out that meme. Check out that fresh meme. Like it, please. Share it if you want.
Yeah, do it.
Tell a friend.
John really worked on this meme.
Really worked hard on it. Also, make sure you guys are following the podcast wherever you're listening. So easy to follow the podcast. Look down, smash that follow button.
Guys, smash it like it's as hot as this season so far because what are we? Episode 5?
5 eps.
It's been hot.
It's been super. It's just getting hotter.
Hotter and hotter.
Hotter and hotter. Now you sound like Ashley. Harder.
Ew.
Hotter.
Ew.
It's harder with a Boston accent. Hotter. Anyways, also we got merch. I'll probably make a t-shirt that says hotter. And you can find it at marriedtorealitypodcast.com. There's a button for a store, so check that out. And thank you again for the reviews. Let us know what you think of the pod. Share your boat names with us. We're all ears. So let us know.
All ears.
Cool. All right. That's it for me. I've said it all. You
said it all.
All right. That means we'll talk to you guys soon. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.